that I have written, but I have heard a couple of generic comments that I would like to use as a preface to my presentation. The first, I want to be quite blunt with you. I have been involved in over a dozen mergers since 1985. There is no way that a full hearing of the complexity of this transaction can occur in a 6-month proceeding. That's not possible. I've been involved in the PSNH Northeast Utilities merger. I've been involved in the AEP Central and Southwest merger. I've been involved in the mergers involving Carolina Power and Light, and mergers involving Duke. There are so many issues in this matter. Yes, the SEC will complete the transactions review in the 6-month period if that's what it has to do. That's the way commissions work. But the question is, at what level of oversimplification? And this is the type of proceeding that requires a departure from oversimplification and a focus on the merits. The second thing I'd like to say by way of introduction is I heard a comment by one of the legislators earlier that struck me as quite incisive. And it was a question that said, what is it that we've done in Virginia that creates a context that could have been a stimulus for this transaction? And the answer is there are many things that the Virginia legislature, the Virginia Commission, and in fact, all other states that have presided over the 100 or so mergers that have occurred in the electric industry, many things that have occurred over these years that have created the conditions for this transaction. And so I want to give you one opinion, if I may, to step aside as an educator and say that the very statute and standard, the timeline, the standard, the criteria, the procedures, the administrative procedures that are going to determine whether this transaction occurs and whether, if it occurs, is consistent with the public interest are all a result of legislative actions. And so for the legislature to now say to itself, what is our role? I hope the answer will be to ask itself, what is our policy with respect to transactions like this? What are we looking in terms of the good of the state, the good of shareholders, the good of customers, our industrial base? What is it that we want to get from a transaction like this? And will this transaction satisfy those needs? So with that introduction, the only other thing I'll say is the last time I was before your legislature was 30 years ago. Between 1996 and 2000, during the debate over retail competition, I was an advisor to the SEC, and I appeared many, many times before a committee that was led by Senator Tommy Norman, who did a very fine job in overseeing the statute relating to retail competition. With that, Mr. Chair and members,